everybody, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making dill pickle pizza. I've talked about it in many of my videos, so today we are actually going to make it. And first thing that we're going to start with is homemade pizza dough. If you're unable to make your own pizza dough, completely fine. You can go to the store and get the pre-made dough. It'll work just as fine. So first things first, we are going to go ahead with the ingredients that you'll need. And what you'll need is 1 cup of warm water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of oil, olive oil or vegetable oil is fine, between 2 and 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and last but not least, 1 teaspoon of salt. That's all you need. Very, very minimal ingredients for making this. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we are going to get 1 cup of lukewarm water into our bowl here. There we go. And then we need dry active yeast, and that one was 1 tablespoon. Sprinkle that in there. And sugar. So the sugar was also 1 tablespoon. Also mix that in. Okay, so now that we have that in our bowl, we are going to let it rest for 5 minutes. And what that does is that activates that yeast, and you'll see once we get back from the 5 minutes that you can see that it has started breaking apart. So we'll meet you back in 5. Okay, so it has been 5 minutes, so we are going to go ahead and add in the oil. And for the oil, it is 1 tablespoon as well. Here we go. All right, now this is where we're going to add in the flour and the salt. Salt was 1 teaspoon, so we will just estimate. Good enough. All right, in the flour, we need about 2 to 2.5. So I'm actually going to do a little at a time. I'm going to put 1 in at a time, start the mixer up, and then just add in as it goes. That way, when it comes time to put everything in, the flour just doesn't come up everywhere, splatter all over the place. Because that has happened before. All right, so we have our 1. Okay, I do have my dough hook on here. Let's go ahead and get this on. Okay, lift this up. And it does say that it is okay that it's slightly sticky. We'll go ahead and kind of roll it out and add more flour on the counter. All right, so we will go ahead and put a little bit of flour down. Do you guys ever have problems with your mixer like mine? I really like it. It's really convenient. But I feel that like I always have to push like the flour down with like a spatula or something because it doesn't really seem to ever like get the sides very well. I mean, I like it, and it definitely mixes a lot better than using my hands, but all right. So what we are doing is we're kind of just adding a little bit more flour. It's not, you know, it's not sticking to my hands, but it has a little bit of a texture to it. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to roll it into a bowl. I'm going to take a little bit of this oil that we have here. I'm going to put it in my bowl that I have over here. And this is pretty much just to mix around, because we're going to put this back in here. We're going to let this dough rest for about an hour. It says like a half hour to an hour, but this way it will not stick in there. We're going to go ahead, put our timer on for about an hour. And when that is done, we will come back and assemble our pizza. I'm so excited. If you guys try this, which I hope you do, it's delicious. If you love dill pickles, you'll definitely love it. And something to take note as well is we had made our pickles in a previous video. And this is what we're also going to be using for our pickle pizza. As far as the base, it is more like a ranch base with a little bit of garlic powder. So pretty much the ranch and the garlic powder is the only thing that we are going to be using that is store-bought for this pizza. Again, nothing has to be homemade to make dill pickle pizza. You can go and buy a jar of dill pickles from the store, dough from the store, mozzarella cheese from the store. You know, it's completely fine. The fact is that you're making something that you're not getting from a pizza place or a box pizza or something. It's something fun to do. Also, as far as the mozzarella cheese, this is the mozzarella cheese that we made from milk from our Jersey cow Daisy. So when we get closer to the time that the dough is going to be ready to roll out, we are also going to go ahead and shred the mozzarella cheese as well. So we'll see you guys back here. This cheese is cheese that we had made back in April, and I did wash this counter, just so you know. And it has been in the freezer. So I took it out of the freezer this morning, and once it completely thawed, I went ahead and put it in the refrigerator because it is a lot easier to shred when it is colder rather than it being warmer. You can also use a food processor to shred your cheese. My attachment for my food processor stopped working, so I have to go back to hand shredding the cheese, which is also fine. All right, so there is our cheese. It's not perfectly shred. There's still like a little few chunks here and there that were a little harder to shred with that hand shredder, but it'll still melt the same and it'll be delicious. So we'll go ahead and stick this back in the fridge for when we're ready to get the dough rolled out. We can go ahead and top this and it'll be nice and cold. All right, so the time has come. It's been sitting for an hour. Let's go ahead, get this dough rolled out, and get our pizza assembled. So before we go ahead and do this, we're going to turn the oven on to 350. It's different from everybody depending on if you have gas or electric stove, but you'll know when it's done. I just usually check on it. I don't really have a specific time frame of how long it's going to take, but I usually just check on it just to see my preference. Some people like the dough a little more crispy, some like it a little more soft, so just keep an eye on it and it's your preference. So let's go ahead and get this set up. 350. right, and we have our, we're gonna grab some flour. Grab our rolling pin. First, gonna kind of spread it out. And I do not have a round pizza where you put your pizza dough on. I usually just use a cookie sheet, so this is gonna be more square than round. Again, it's gonna taste the same. All right. So I have my pan here. I am gonna spray it. Okay. Just gonna roll this out a little. Whoops. Kind of flop this over here. There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be delicious. Okay. There we have it. Okay, so like I had mentioned, we'll get our ranch for our base. And you guys, this is your preference. There's no put so many tablespoons of ranch on your pizza. This is what you like. It's your little personalized pizza. Put as much or as little ranch as you want. Completely up to you. That looks about good for me. All right, so next we are using garlic powder. And again, this is just a very little because you don't really want it overpowering, but it does give a really nice taste to it. There we go. All right. We got our cheese. We got our pickles. That sealed real nice. All right, let me grab some paper towels, and the reason that we're just gonna grab some paper towels is for the pickles because there is a lot of juice on it and I don't really want it super juicy on my pizza. So I'm just going to pretty much just put it on here to take some of that, excuse me, to take some of that juice off of there. And again, as many pickles as you want. I probably could have put them in the refrigerator, but they're gonna just get warm anyway, so. All right, let's flip those over and around so the juice kind of sticks there. I'm definitely gonna need more pickles. When we had made these pickles, I had commented that you can use either a quart size or a pint size jar as far as how you want to pickle depending on how much you use. And as you can see, it's definitely good to have a quart size here. So we're going to go ahead and put some cheese down first. gonna put some pickles. Oh, get it all. Need some more. Just a few. All right, and do you guys remember in my other video when we made these, I put that pickle crisp in here? Look at. Still crispy. That's what I like. All right, so when I do mine, I also like to put a little bit more cheese on top. Oh, doesn't this look great? Okay. So excited. Okay. We are putting her in the oven again at 350. And I'm just gonna check on it probably every 10-15 minutes just to get it to how I like it. I like mine with a little bit of brown. I don't like it too crispy. But we will come back when we're ready to take it out and do a taste test. Look at how delicious that looks. I am excited to try this. Look at how crispy that cheese is on there. It looks so good. It's hot. Woo. Okay. Yum. All right, so even though it's a pickle pizza, even though we put ranch at the bottom, I do like to dunk mine in some ranch. I cannot wait to eat this. Smells so good. I'm gonna let it cool for a few minutes just because it just literally came out. All right, let's give this a taste try. That is so good. Especially with that homemade cheese on there. Homemade pickles. Oh, you guys, this is so good. Definitely worth a try. I'll go ahead and link the recipe. Well, not link the recipe. I'll type up the recipe and the instructions on how to do the dough and assembling everything. I'll go ahead and put that in the description below. You guys, let me know if you try this and what you think. I promise you'll love it. It's so, so good. Well, guys, if you do like the video, please think about hitting that thumbs up and then also subscribing to our channel as well. I'd really appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. I do get excited when I see more and more people subscribing, the more videos that I put out. So thank you again for hanging out with me today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.